Hello and welcome back, guys. It is Duff Designs. We're going to be doing another course review today on Stonehenge number 3. This course right here, I actually got the inspiration from, believe it or not, a good video. They were playing, I can't remember what course, I think it was Pinehurst number 3. Uh, and it was this really tiny, shorter course that was originally meant to be played on hickory clubs. And that is exactly what I got my inspiration for. I wanted to build a short course inspired off of hickory style designs and just the older style of golf courses, mixed in with a little bit of my flair. So that's what I did here. This course is extremely short. I know this isn't right. The PGA 2K23 numbers are wrong, but this is, I believe, 52 or 50. Actually, no, it's 5,800 yards. That's exactly how far it is. 5,800 yards from the back tees. So it is a very short course. But at the same time, it is very challenging. I made sure to leave that challenging aspect into the course. So if you aren't on your game, you can still go about even on this course. But if you are on your game, you can go definitely under 18. You could go under 18 under if you are one of the better players. Uh, so I guess we might as well go ahead and get into it. In terms of decorating on this course, not much at all, but I don't think it really needed it. I got a little city here in the background, one of my little background cities that I always do. Uh, there really isn't much else. I got a little bit of rock work around the course. Most of it was tree work. Most of this course was tree work. I do have a little road here, of course, a little bit of fencing around the course. Uh, the clubhouse and maintenance area, I did put some work into. This is actually where I originally came up with my sand pile idea. I figured out how to do a sand pile for a maintenance area and just kind of left it there. Uh, Beautiful little maintenance area here. Nothing special because I mean it is a smaller course. You're not going to need as much to take care of the course. Clubhouse, I do really like this clubhouse. I do think it's very nice, especially with all the carts set up and all the cars here. Very simple putting and chipping area. You can see the putting and chipping area from number 9 ever so slightly, but other than that, it's pretty much invisible. You also don't really see the clubhouse. There aren't really any holes coming straight at the clubhouse, but I do think it's a very nice little area. All right, so I guess I might as well show you the stone hinges on this course since it is Stonehenge number 3. There isn't a Stonehenge number 1 and there isn't a Stonehenge number 2. But this is the stone hinges on the course. Got one here, and I got one back here placed right behind number 9. I believe I only built two of these, but they're nothing super special. You can obviously tell I didn't spend as much time as I probably should have on them, but they really aren't seen much at all. This is the only time you really see them at all, and most players don't really pay attention to them. If I'm going to be honest, anyone I've seen play the course, they don't really these aren't really in their mind at all. But they are little Easter eggs in the course, I guess. Now this course, the 2K21 version is ever so slightly different. As I've been porting all my courses over, I've been updating them and fixing a few things that I didn't quite like. This hole's a good example. I don't believe this bunker was here in the last version, and I know there was a huge bunker right here on the last version. But I didn't really like it. The only feature really on this hole, it's a shorter par 3, is this big catch right here. But dear Lord, it sucks up every player who comes at this green. I cannot play this hole without hitting this big slope right here to any of these pin positions, I swear. Uh, these two front ones, since they are closer, you don't have to worry a whole heck of a lot because your balls can bite, but going to these back ones, if you hit a slow, it's gonna come down here. Very simple hole. I got a little grass. I think it's like a cup pretty much that it kind of made. Got a little heart in the center. You can't really see that from anywhere, but I do think it's nice. Nothing super special. I do hate how you can't really see uh, certain grasses from far away. If I'm back here, I can't see those grasses, and I can't see the heart. But Coming on here to hole number two, very simple little hole here. Fenced off the whole left edge just to add a little bit of flair to it. It's a very short par four. The only thing protecting this green is these two trees placed up here, but these two trees are doing a fantastic job. Uh, I have not seen anybody hit it on the green yet, despite it only being 310 to the front edge of the green. It's just so well protected. I'm sure someone, if you hit a good enough fade, you can get up here onto the green, but there's no way going directly at the hole that you're getting up on here. I have a sneaking suspicion that there is a way that you could get your balls to land up over here somewhere and have them trickle down, but I just don't think anyone's actually going to go for that unless they do it on accident. Uh, so I do think this is a very, very nice little shorter par four. If you play it smart, you can get a very easy birdie. If not, it's going to be a par, and you can already be one, maybe even two down off the bat of your opponents. Coming here to hole number three, very short par three, probably my favorite par three on the course. Very simple as well. As you can see, it's only 115 up here from the backs. Uh, if you come down here to the green, one simple bunker with some slopes guards this entire green. No one really ever goes in the bunker, but visually it is nice. The game wants you to play a pitch shot here, which I do think is the preferred shot into this green because it is all sloping for you. Uh, all you got to do is hit a good shot here. If you hit a good shot here, you're going to get a birdie. Missing this green isn't going to punish you that hard. Most players that miss are going to miss down here. I haven't really seen many players, but the fast would put you somewhere over here. In terms of being in the bunker, I don't think I've ever seen anybody in the bunker on this hole. It would take a slow. You would have to underpower your shot to end up in the bunker. Uh, Coming on here to hole number four, this is one of my favorite holes in the course. This is a very, very tight short par four. This one, if the wind isn't hurting, you can get a powerful shot on the green here. Your driver is going to land about right here, but is that a scary shot with this bunker guarding the whole water over here, trees caressing your left? Just about everybody who plays this hole gets scared and flares their shots way out to the right over here. I do it, my friends do it. I think only a couple times have I hit fast shots and I've been either just on the edge of the water or in the water. But you can very easily get an eagle on this hole if you hit a nice enough shot. Green is kind of slopey. This back pins obviously are the harder ones. I think this is the 1 and 4 pin back here. Uh, but I don't know, just kind of a shorter, difficult hole. That's what I was going for on this course, and I think this one encapsulates that perfectly. Coming on here to hole number five. This one is pretty easy, but I do think it's quite the beautiful hole. Got these little palm trees in the back. This is where I have the little stepped up retaining walls. If you haven't seen that video, that's where that came from. Uh, Very simple little hole here. Got a visual bunker here to just kind of block the fairway. Got a big catch here and two catches down by the green. Drives can land down about right here. You can definitely get on the green on this hole. I've been on it once. Uh, I think even the longest drivers could get over the green, honestly. Let me grab a drink real quick. Coming on here to number six. This one I wanted to go with some kind of wilder fairway on. I wanted something that you had to kind of think about where you wanted to land it. Uh, Everybody's drives on this hole is landing somewhere around this mound. Now, the big thing about this mound is if you land about right here, it's going to catch you and kind of bring you up over to here a little bit. If you land on top of this, of course, you're going to kick on down. If you land up here, of course, you're going to kick on down. The big thing about this is people always want to kind of play closer to the corner. So I punish that by making this whole mound slope into this sand bunker. A lot of people are going to end up in this sand bunker, but even though at the same time, if you end up in this sand bunker, you still have a pretty decent chance of being able to reach the green, considering it's only 170 yards out. If you do hit it bad enough, though, you can get close enough to this lip to where I don't think you can actually hit the preferred club to get to the green. But in terms of this little fairway shot, it looks a little funky, but I do like the way that it plays with these huge, steep rolling hills out here. This is another very birdieable hole. Even if you don't get the preferred landing pattern back here, uh, you only got 200 in from on the other side of the slope back here. Like it's not that far. And considering that this green isn't really super crazy, all you got to do is land it in front of any of these pin positions except for this one, uh, and you can pretty much get a birdie or eagle on this hole. I do really like this back catch bunker back here that is caressed against these rocks. Uh, I've been using this design little style for a while, and I do really like the sand bunkers that run all the way up to the rocks. I think it's a nice way to hide the back edge, and it just ends up looking very flush and clean. All right, coming up here to number seven. Number seven, another great par three on this course. Very simple. The green has got some big slopes, big catch slopes on these bunkers to allow your balls to roll back in. Simple little river that is coming off of for number five. Not even really a river, just kind of an extension of the lake coming up here. Very birdieable hole again. It is very short, only 132. The only thing you really got to avoid on this hole is going in the water or ending up in these two bunkers. If you're in these two bunkers, you're dead. This green right here with all this slopage, it's almost impossible to get your ball to stop at any of these pin positions except for maybe this one back here. But I mean, if you missed all the way over here for this pin position, you've already messed up pretty bad. Uh, I don't know. I just really like the simplistic look of this course. Nothing super special on it. It just keeps everything down to a very simple and a very easy. It's almost like every hole's just a go for it, and it makes it very very fun. It feels like you can go very far under out here, which is the main thing I wanted to replicate. Is because players nowadays who are playing on courses like this are of course going to blow the course out of the water because we're not playing with the wood clubs anymore. We're playing with Pro V1s and the newest tailor-made drivers that can let you hit the ball 100 yards further than you could back then. So it keeps that aspect of the course in here, and it makes it very enjoyable to play. After maybe playing some other really hard courses in the game, you can come here and you can just relax and hit some really nice shots, go really far under. Number eight here, yet again, is a shorter par four. I do really like this hole. It is right along the entrance road. Got a big fence running and some crepe myrtles set up. Uh, this one actually, I prefer to use a three wood. I've got my three wood hitting 258, and I can land that about right here and run that up onto the green. My driver, I have to take a lot of yardage off of because my driver lands about back here. So I think this is the shortest par four on the course in terms of length, uh, and in terms of where your driver is going to land. But I do think it makes it very interesting with just this one little simple lake guarding the whole green. Coming up to number nine here. Number nine, I kind of wanted to force players to lay back. I didn't want someone hitting a driver on this hole. So I did that by putting a huge thing up here right about where players' drives are going to go. The longest drivers, and if the wind is in your favor, you can make it down to here. It takes a 330 shot around some trees, but if the wind is in your favor, you can do it. It doesn't really break the hole anyway because it's only 210, 220 from up here. So even if you're here or here, you're still going for the green in two. It doesn't really matter. And the amount of players that do go down here is very, very far and few between. As I said, it takes a little bit of luck with the wind, and you've got to be the whatever it is, the strength hitter archetyped or whatever it's called. Uh, Coming up here to the green, very simple little green, as you can see. I think no, that's not the basic shape. I placed that one. It looks very similar to one of the basic shapes the game gives you, but it's not. Uh, Greens, very, very simple. Just a couple slopes here and there. Nothing really super challenging. This one's more just kind of visual. I wanted a bunker to block the front of the green visually. As you can see, it's not close at all, but from the back, it kind of looks a little closer than it is. And then these two bunkers back here do end up catching a lot of players. This one especially, anything fast is going to land here and bounce into this bunker. All right, coming up here to number 10. Number 10, I think I had to redesign this hole a little bit, but it's just a very, very simple little hole. Another nice par 3. It isn't my favorite par 3, but I do like it. I do like playing it. A very slopey green here, a lot of movement going on. I think this is pin position 1. I played this pin position a lot, and I always end up all the way back here off the green because of this little slope here. This pin position is also very difficult, but you can get something to bite considering you're only 160 from the tee box, and these two are obviously the easier pin positions. A very simple little hole though. Coming up here to hole number 11. Hole number 11 is another short par 4. This one you can't go for the green. Well, you can technically, but I've never seen anyone actually go for the green and it end up good for them. I've seen a lot of people end up in these trees right here, and I've seen a lot of people end up in this bunker back here. For the most part, the intended play is to lay up about to right in this area, which also offers a lot of challenge with these bunkers and the fact that from the tee box there's a big mound here that blocks off that whole left side, which kind of makes it a little scarier to lay up to. Coming up to the green here, got some simple, kind of like, I don't know, they're kind of like bleeding bunkers in a way. They just kind of fall down. They're just falling off the edge of this cliff. I do really like the looks of them. I've ended up in them a couple times. In terms of the green, green's pretty simple. It's a two-tiered green with one little knoll right here. This knoll guards this pin position very well. Makes it to where you do have to kind of be closer to the green to get this to stick right here. Otherwise, you have to contend with this little knoll. All right, coming on here to number 12. Number 12, yet again, another short par 4. I really do enjoy this one. A lot of players actually will end up hitting a 3-wood off the tee because it lands you right here, only about 100 yards out. But for those of us hitting a driver, you're going to land just on the other side of this little slope here, and it's going to give you a good bounce forward. You do have to contend with the trees off the tee right here. And I think the longest drivers in the game can probably hit this green. It would take a great shot. I also do really like this little bunker cluster right here. I kind of made it into an oval, but none of the bunkers are attached. Visually, it is very, very slopey, and it doesn't really accept a lot of balls. No one ends up really in here, but I do like it. This back pin position here, though, a lot of people will end up flowing down into this little catch area because of these two slopes. I've actually landed up here and came down all the way down into this catch area over here. All right, let me grab a little drink again. All right, coming on here to number 13. 13 actually is probably my least favorite par 3 on the course. It still plays nice and does its purpose. Very simple green, got one big slope in the back and kind of a semi two-tiered. It's not really a big slope here, but there's two little pinnable areas and then this big false front on the front of the green. Uh, these two pin positions right here, the two that I've played to the most, very, very difficult little hole here. I think it's the second longest or the longest par 3 on this course. This course has, I think, 7 par 3s. Let's actually check real quick. Go to the scorecard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 par 3s on this course. I probably need to start doing this as well, showing the scorecards at the start of each video. Uh, there's our actual yardage, I believe. I think that's actually the course yardage, 5,200 yards. Uh, I think that was about how long Pinehurst number 3 was, if I remember. But in terms of length, as you can tell, everything is short out here. There's only this par 5 here that is running 500. This par 5 here that is running 521. On like very, very short. Same thing with this one, 467. It's just such a short course, but man, it's a fun little course. All right, coming back down here, number 13, not really much else to say about it. Bunkering's basic around it, nothing super special here. Coming up here to number 14, I really do like number 14. Got a lot of grass here. That probably took up about 9% of the memory on this course of the objects, I mean. But this is another short par four. This one's special in the fact that you can go for the green on this one as well, but you got to go over the trees up to this little island, kind of like mounded green. And right up here in the green, this is your number one pin location. This is the one that most people end up playing to, and it is a fun little pin to play to. It makes this hole go from being a very possible eagle to it can be struggling for par sometimes if you're not careful. If you miss this green down in any of these areas over here behind or to the right, even the left sometimes, it can be very challenging to get up and down from there for birdie. A lot of times you'll end up getting par, and if you're not careful enough, I've seen people be behind this, putt over this slope, and go all the way down off the front of this green before. I've seen a couple of bogeys on this hole for people who have nearly driven it. Uh, I do really like the walk up area right here for fairway, and it's got one little bunker over here guarding it to try to dissuade people on the tee from just hitting it up this little fairway pipe. Uh, I do really, really like this hole. Very, very simple little hole here. Coming on here to number 15. Number 15. God, I placed that down a while ago and I forgot to delete it. I think it's actually on the version of this course that I posted as well, which is kind of sad, but I think I just accidentally placed it and completely forgot about it when I published it. But coming on down to this hole, I added two little visual bunkers here. They're not too well seen, and another visual one over here. But I did really like the mounds that I added on the tee box like complex area here. It makes it very interesting. Uh, but in terms of coming down here to the fairway, as you can see, we got like a bunker chain that starts here, runs all the way up the right side of this big cluster up here. Most players are going to be choosing between this side or this side coming up. I believe in the older version or in the published version, this tree is rotated. I think it's facing this way. But you have to go right for this little gap over here. This is the only way you can get for the green, really, is going down the right side, getting it to collect down here. If you end up over here, you're going to be behind way too many trees unless you absolutely crush the ball about 350. In terms of the green, most of the time I'm hitting hybrid into this green, I feel like. And it is usually on these two pin positions are the ones that I usually end up playing. So anything coming into these two pins is going to get kicked all the way down here. It's very hard to get it to bite, to stick all the way up here. I do really like this hole as it comes down here to the road corner. Meant to be a visual for everybody on the road. As you can see, pretty nice. Got the big white bunker with the lake, and you can obviously see the green and kind of up the course a little bit too, coming down the road. Uh, Not really much else to say about this hole. I do really like it. I like this little green area. I like the tee shot, second shot, everything about it. Hole number 16. Now, this was a design concept that I saw on older courses where they would have a bowl right in front of the green, meant for people to hit lower shots and land into this area and either have it kick forward and up or land into the slope and stop and barely come up. So it was kind of meant to be not really a handicap, but it was meant to help the players coming into the green hitting lower shots. Uh, I tried to replicate that, but also add a little bit of flair to it to where I added a little bit of randomness in the front of the green to where if you do hit anything right here, it's going to kick in kind of a random direction, but still any shot landing right here in this front edge is going to bounce up how you expect it and how you want it to. The big thing about this hole is the miss on this hole is over to the right. If you miss over to the right because of how this green is sloped, you're dead because your ball, there's no way you're going to be able to get it to stop. It's going to end up all the way down over here somewhere. Very simple, only two bunkers on this hole. One's just a visual bunker. This is the only really play bunker. Very simple hole, but I do think it adds a lot of challenge for it. And it is sitting at a little bit further distance at around 200, so that I could get players to hit kind of lower shots a little bit. Coming on down here to hole number 17, yet another short par 4. I also really like this one. Got another visual bunker back here blocking off a little bit of the fairway. Uh, Most people's drives are going to land right in this strip. That's where most people are going to be going for, trying to get it up to the green. You're just going to take about a 310 drive to be able to bounce it on up here to the green. Uh, this pin is pin number 1, I believe. This is the one that just about everybody is going to be playing to. Uh, Big bowl here. I do really like these two pins to where you can get caught off and roll kind of near the tee boxes over here. And got this pin back here, which is in danger of the bunker. Simple hole, should be a birdie for almost every player. And I also really do like how it comes here and connects right into 18 off the green. Number 18 here, yet again, some more of those really heavy sloped bunkers. I kind of called them bleeding bunkers earlier, but I already kind of used that term for something else. But I do really like the looks of them. They're just really big, slopey bunkers. Uh, Coming up here to the green, I forgot what this design concept was called, but uh, this was used in a lot of older courses. This two-tiered with the valley in the middle kind of theme. Did it here. Thinks it play. I think it plays very nice in this big rectangular green here. Uh, the front pin right here is pin 1. This is the one that most people will end up playing to. I do really like this pin position as it offers some difficulty with this big slope here, these bunkers, and I mean if you go past the hole, you're fine. You're gonna get caught up over here. I do really enjoy this hole. I do think it's a very nice finishing hole. Got some big catches over here. Anything missing really bad is going to get punished by like these big knolls placed on all the corners of the greens. Um, and then we got this little tiny section of fairway right here. Not a bunch, but it's just enough to where players play into this one are going to end up here. It's just kind of right here in this little walk-up area. And then, of course, you got your little drive all the way back to the clubhouse, and we're done. Uh, I think that's about it with this course. I don't really have much else to say about it. If you want to play it, obviously the name is in the title, Stonehenge number 3. Uh, Very short course, very fun little course to play. If you just want to kind of chill back and play under par without thinking too much about it, this is probably the course for you. If you also just want to play some strategic golf and you don't want to go for everything, there's a lot of par fours here which you can play strategically and still get those birdies just as easily as the guys going for the green. A lot of layup opportunities on all these holes here. Uh, Other than that, I think that's all I really have to say. Uh, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.